Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Hey everybody, I started a little early. I wanted to see if my intro was going to work. I hope it did. Hope you liked it. You can let me know. One of my friends, well, not a friend actually, she's actually a relative. She's actually my niece, I'm her auntie. And she helped me do this. And I picked the music and she did all the graphics and the stuff on it. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little different. Had a lot of meaning to it to me because on YouTube, you know, you get all kinds of drama going and whether you do anything or not, you know, seems like people want to start problems. So I like the song and I figured it fit what's going on. So anyway, today I'm going to do chili and I'm going to do my grandma's banana cream pie. The only thing I did ahead in prepping was I went ahead and baked the pie shell because I wanted to get it done. And I did go ahead and do the egg whites. I've got them in the refrigerator in a cold bowl because it makes a lot of noise with the mixer going in the background. And I went ahead, I did brown the ground beef for the chili. And I'm going to tell you, mine was half frozen. I'm going to give you a little secret on it. You can even use it for spaghetti or even tacos. If you get late or even if it's frozen solid, you can put that in a pan with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1/3 of a cup of water, and just put it on medium, between medium and, well, you know, just not between medium high, but about right at medium, and just watch it and break the meat down as it cooks. You'll have it ready in no time. So if you run into something where you have extra people come, or decide you want to do something at the last minute, you don't have to thaw it out ahead of time. It will work like that. And I just keep stirring it like that until it cooks down, and then I take and drain it. The only thing I put in it is minced onion. I don't even put my salt and pepper in there yet. And then I just drain it, put it back in the pan, and I put a tablespoon of olive oil on it. So that's where I'm at on that. But I'll get into the ingredients as I walk you all through this. Let me see if I can get this a little better where you can see. Well, let me see. I'll bring it in maybe closer here. Let me see if I can get this where y'all can see it a little better. Here, I'm trying to, don't want to mess with my phone too much. Anyway, there, I'm going to back it up a little bit there and bring it out this way. There you go. All right, so in this, I have a pan and I'm putting it on medium heat. This is for the banana cream pie. This is my grandmother's recipe. And she used evaporated milk. And with evaporated milk, you get about 1.5 cups, not quite. And then she used it to the rest. She used regular milk or half and half to make 2 cups. So that's what's in here. It is evaporated milk and whole milk that I used to make 2 cups. And I've got it on medium heat, and you want it to start getting warm. I did take and slice 3 bananas, and I put some lemon juice on them so they wouldn't turn too much. Try not to use ripe bananas. You need the firmer ones to go in there. And of course, people start calling my. Hold on. Anyway, because they'll get mushy, and you don't want that. And you're also going to need, I use about 1.25 cups of regular sugar, and I took and I mixed in a bowl, and I mixed 4 level tablespoons of cornstarch in here. That's the thickening agent. I have 3 egg yolks that I slightly beaten. I have 2 tablespoons of butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, and I also put a pinch of salt in with the sugar and the cornstarch. And that's what's the pie is gonna consist of, other than the 3 egg whites that I used. I beat them up. You have to get your bowl really cold and your egg whites really cold, and they'll beat up just fine. And then when they starting to form peaks, I put about 2 tablespoons of sugar in, and I put about a little cap full of vanilla in for the flavoring. So that's what I do that's the way she did it. So that's what I do. So anyway, I'm waiting for this mixture to start getting warm. I'm going to go ahead and put my oven on, so I'll be able to do the pie, so you can see what it's going to look like. Let me see. Hold on here. I put it on 375 when I do the get ready to put the meringue. When I put the meringue on it, put it back in. My pie shell kind of went crazy on me. So anyway, but anyway, and then I put it on after it's baked and everything, I just put it on a piece of foil on a pizza pan or something, because it's easier for you to get in and out of the oven, and then you don't have to worry about trying to pick it up and move it from place to place to cool. So anyway, I'm going to set this over here until I get this ready. Like I said, in this pan, I went ahead and I cooked the meat for the chili. This is what it is. And I'm just setting this off. I'm using 1 can of red beans and 1 can of black beans, drained and rinsed. I'm using 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I put a tablespoon of sugar in there because that's just what we do with something that has acid in it. And I have some Good Value brand of the V8 juice. I have some the masa flour that I'm going to use for thickening the chili. I also have paprika, I have salt, pepper, I have chili, and I have cumin, and I have onion powder, and I have garlic powder, okay? Like I said, I've already got the minced onion in here. You can use more spices or whatever you want. We have a lot of people that don't like a lot of heavy spices. And then I always grate up cheese and grated onion. And we use that to put with the chili. Sometimes I make cornbread, but today we're just going to have crackers because I'm making the pie. And we had a lot of cornbread here lately. I can tell you, my daughter made something. I'm not too crazy about a lot of Indian foods and stuff, but she made a dish that's called butter chicken and the naan bread from scratch. It took a long time, but it's really good. It's really rich. And my grandson wanted that, and all the kids ate it. They really liked it. And you serve it over rice. But if any of y'all are interested in any of that kind of recipe, I'll be glad to find out from her and do it in live if I get enough people that are really interested in that. And I will check the comments in a little bit because it's hard to do that while I'm cooking. So I want y'all to keep in mind too, there's a lot of drama going on right now on YouTube about some different cases, and most of you all know and I hardly ever talk about this on here, but I'm going to address it since people want to address it in my comments and stuff and my emails. So I have a lot of passion still for the Watts case. I've been on that since the very beginning. I've been on both sides. I've been on sides to where I thought he was totally guilty, and to where after I got to see more information, realized a lot of things wasn't going. I changed sides. I've been there ever since. I haven't changed my mind in over 4.5 years now. I just haven't, and I'm not going to each their own, but I'm not going to not discuss that. And another one that I'm really interested in, of course, is Athena Strand here, the little girl, 7-year-old that was killed here in Texas. About that one, I'm interested in that one. I'm also helping with my niece and stuff, and she is doing Aaron Carter. And that has got a lot of loops in and out. It's a deep rabbit hole. There's a lot of stuff that people have actually, I'm sorry, people keep sending me stuff, misinformation about, but if you want facts and you want to see everything as facts and reality, go to hers. It's Panthera Luna. Put your link up, Panthera, if you're in there, please put your link up so people can come in there. And she's going live at 6, and I'm going to be over there with her. And y'all are interested in that, please join. We welcome, people's comments and stuff, but there's a lot of misinformation, and she will put it out there and get it straight for people. Okay, now let me get back to my pie here. The milk mixture is getting hot, and I'm going to turn it down to medium because I'm going to, I want to beat in slowly my egg yolks here because I don't want them to cook. You got to do them very slowly, or they'll temper them, or they'll cook. You don't want lumps of cooked eggs in your, cream filling for your pudding. And next, I'm going to add the sugar and the cornstarch, okay? The last you put in is after this is completely fit, and use a whisk and make sure you do not walk away from this, because if it burns, you're going to ruin your pie. It's going to taste burnt. And again, this is 1 can of evaporated milk, and I use whole milk to make a total of 2 cups. It's 1.25 cups of granulated sugar, 4 tablespoons level of cornstarch, and a pinch of salt. And I mix the salt, the cornstarch, and the sugar together. And I beat the eggs and separate them. I have egg whites in, already beaten in there, and the refrigerator staying cold. Already baked my pie shell. And as you can see, this mixture is starting to get thick, but constantly stir it. Just constantly make sure you stir this. This is really a basic thing you can use for coconut cream pie. You can do the same thing and put your coconut in at the end instead of bananas. Or you can take and add cocoa, which I'm going to do chocolate cream pie that she did too. So I'm going to do that one for everybody. So I'm just, trying to keep this going and letting it get thick here. But you always want to make sure that you keep an eye on this because you don't want to have a mess. You know, you don't want to have it to burn on you. And as long as you keep that going, it won't burn on you. But if you just constantly stir it. Now, to make sure it's thickening, you can get a little hotter once the sugar's dissolved and, you know, there's no lumps from the eggs and the cornstarch. You know, it's all blended. You need to blend your cornstarch with your sugar and your salt and just mix it together because that'll keep you from getting lumps. The same thing when you use the chocolate. You want to sift your chocolate in there so you don't have lumps. It's the same thing I do with that chocolate cake that I make. And like I said, this isn't hard. It's just a matter of bake your shell, let it cool, take a break from this, slice your bananas, put your lemons on it or lemon juice, or you're going to use coconut or whatever, and just take your time. Don't be in a hurry to make this. Cooking is not hard. It's just you have to have patience. And if you don't have patience, guys, it just doesn't work at all. So, and right now, like I said, I'm waiting for this to get thick, and it's starting to get thick, but I don't want to take my eyes off of it while I'm talking to y'all. But if y'all are interested in those cases, come on over. You know, we're going to be discussing those. The one because it was in here in Texas about Athena and Aaron Carter. You know, that's been a touch and go situation for a long time. There's been a lot of tragedies in that family. And, you know, it's kind of amazing how when these kids start out as little bitty kids and they're used, you know, like that and put in the industry like that, and just like Michael Jackson, for instance, a few others, when they're smaller and they're put in, they seem to have a lot of other issues in life, struggles. But some things in his case, it's not making sense. And we have this proof over there and fast to show you. You'll learn what the probate is in California, according to California law. I can tell you that there's a lot of ups and downs there. And when my husband passed away, he had a will, but it still had to go through probate here in Texas for almost 3 years. And it cost him over $5,000. So, and he had everything made out the way he wanted it. So it's not always like people think. It's just not always a closed case just because you have a will, you know. It's just not always like that at all. So you need to keep that in mind when you do wills and stuff. That make sure and check what your laws are, you know. You gotta stay on top of that. Okay, this is, okay, I'm starting to get some heavy bubbles here. I'm gonna set off for just a minute. I don't think I'm gonna need that whisk anymore. Let me check this and see. It's just almost there to where I'm gonna put the, I always add the bananas at the last and I kind of fold them in because you don't want them to break up, you know. And this will get thicker. You don't think it's gonna get thick, but it does. And then I just set it off here for a minute. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there that I had here in a cup. And you're just gonna kind of fold that in, you know, and let it just, that butter melt and that vanilla get back in here to season that. Because like I said, the crust is done and it's just gonna be a matter of folding the bananas in here gently and then filling the pie. But while this is cooling a little bit before I put the bananas in, I always let it cool a little bit because I don't want to make my bananas mushy. So, and this will thicken even a little bit more. If you take it off, and you can use this just like this for vanilla pudding if you want to just put vanilla pudding into a little whipped cream or something on it for kids, or if you want to put a dessert, you can do that too. It's a lot better than the stuff you get in pre-made stuff and in those packages and stuff. It just has a lot better taste to it. It's creamier. That's the reason why she used evaporated milk. She said it always made creamier pies. So That's what I always think of when she told me about explaining the evaporated milk. And I'm actually just going guessing at the measurements because she didn't measure me. She really didn't. I just had to watch her and left her where I finally could guess basically what everything was. So anyway, this is where I want it. So I'm going to sit off over here with the bananas and let it cool because I need my counter space for the chili. So I'm going to put this meat that has a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to put it back on a medium heat over here. Let me wipe this up to make sure I didn't get anything spilled. And so here again, I've got the 2 cans of beans. You can use whatever beans you want. I got black and red beans. I drained them and rinsed them. I have the can of the diced tomatoes, and I put a tablespoon of sugar in there. And I had the V8 juice, generic brand that I'm going to be using. I have the lots of flour here I'm going to use for the thickening at the end. And then I have the seasonings here. So I'm going to start adding the seasonings a little bit. And I'm going to taste this because you may have to add more. You need to do this according to what your taste buds are. And I have salt and pepper. And right now I'm going to go ahead and add, I'm going to go ahead and add about half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put about half a teaspoon of pepper in there. You may need more. And I'm going to get that because you want in your meat, you want before you put any of this in to cook, you want your seasonings. I'm sorry, people keep trying. I'm not gonna lie. You want the seasonings to get in your meat before you add the other stuff, and because you're gonna let your chili cook for a while. So next, I'm going to add. I have garlic powder here. I'm adding quite a bit. I'm adding about probably 2 teaspoons because of the garlic powder, and I'm using about a good teaspoonful of paprika in here because I'm not using the spice mixes, guys. I'm using, and I'm probably going to have to go back and measure this again. I have about a good teaspoon of cumin in here, and of course I'm going to add the chili powder too. Oh, I forgot. I already put the onion powder in earlier. I forgot. I was going to wait when I put the minced onion in. I went ahead and added it, so it's already in here. I forgot because I accidentally put it in with the minced onion. And just kind of keep that on medium heat. And you can even take a piece of it. I haven't put the chili seasoning in, but taste it and see where you're at, because you're the one that's going to decide how much of this flavor you want in your chili. You know, and I'm adding some chili seasoning in here. And this meat is very lean, so it's going to take quite a bit of the chili seasoning because your plating will dilute as you add other things. Right now, I am going to go ahead and add the crushed tomatoes in here that I put the tablespoon of sugar in. So the meat has some liquid to absorb in here. And I'm just going to kind of mix that. And let me get a spoon so I can taste this and see how it is. Now, you have to go by taste, guys. That's all I can tell you. So you just have to kind of let it cook and taste it. Now you can add red pepper or whatever you want, pepper flakes or whatever you want to it. I'm not doing that, you know, and you can use other veggies if you want or whatever, but this is the way I'm doing it. And it still doesn't have enough chili powder. That's why I got an extra one out. And just Stir it, and you can see it starting to get hot, and let those flavors get in your meat. It's where a lot with the tomatoes. It's where a lot of people make a mistake. They don't let their seasonings cook like you need to. I'm going to add a little bit more paprika, and a little bit more cumin. It's pretty good where it's at, but like I said, I got to add the beans and the juice, so I'm probably going to be adding more. So I'm not giving you exact measurements. I'm telling you to taste as you go along. A little more garlic powder in there. I didn't have any minced garlic today. Forgot I didn't get any. Okay. Now let me taste this and see where we're at. That's good like it is, but I haven't added anything. Now I'm going to add the beans. Man. Time, I guess, to do a live, everybody's what to call. Stir the beans around. And I'm going to use some of this V8 juice, but I'm going to dilute it probably with some water, depending on, let me see how rich I want it on here. You know, you can add more beans. You can put no beans and just use the chili meat. It's up to you, and just thin it out. Back home, where I'm from, originally from Missouri, we used to take and eat it over spaghetti noodles. They serve that in the restaurants like that. And if you go to chili places, they'll actually be wanted over pasta. Still, that's just the way they serve it back there. Because you're still going to have a really nice pot of chili here. I'm just telling you. You can add more beans for more people. Let me get a little water here. A little water in here. And then I want it to be overwhelming with the tomato acid taste. But it's just gonna, I'm gonna let this get hot, and I'm gonna check it for the flavors again. Don't put the masa flour until the very end, so you're ready to see all this stuff is cooked and you've got it where it's flavored, and because that's your thickening ingredient. And I probably will maybe end up using most of this because I don't want to use 3 cans of beans in it. I think that's just a little bit too much. You know, and this does have 2 pounds of ground beef in it, lean ground beef. So you check again, get my spoon rinsed off, check again. Here, I'll give you a minute and see where this is at. Let me see. As I said, you're going to have to add more seasoning because it dilutes the seasoning. So I'm going to add more chili powder because now I got to season. Now we've got to season the broth and stuff. We season the meat. Now we've got to season the juice and the beans. So go back and just add so much until you get where you want it. But that's the only spices I use. You can use whatever you want. That's up to you. That's what I use. That's the way we always made it, you know. But I like it to be pretty rich and hearty, so. And like, people here don't want a whole bunch of beans in there, so. I'm going to use the 2 cans. And I'll get another can and try it again and see when it gets hot where that seasoning is on that. Absolutely. You do banana pies also. You want to make sure you use them up within maybe a couple of days because they have a chance the bananas to turn brown and not look very good. And like I said, you need salt now. You can always take salt out. You know, I mean, you can always add more salt, but you can't take it out. So that's what I meant to say. But it still needs some more. Get in there and season that up. So because I'm going to have to add a little bit more tomato juice, so, or the V8 juice. So you're getting a lot of flavoring from your juice if your stuff is in here, because it's got carrots and onion, and celery, and everything blended. That's why I like to use it instead of regular tomato juice. I just find it really neat. And let me check over here and see if that filling's cool enough where I can mix the bananas in. Still a tad bit more. Let me see here. Yeah. Needs to set just a couple more minutes. It's getting there. And yeah. Because your bananas will thicken your pudding up too when you put your bananas in. So keep that in mind. I went ahead and stuck them in there. When I set over in the cool pot, I put chili on to the back. And I can put meringue and put it on. So I'm going to be doing some other crock pot dishes. I'm going to do a chocolate pie too. I'm going to do maybe an applesauce cake, carrot cake. I'm going to do this different colored jellos you set up, and then you let them come up pieces, and you make the sweet and condensed milk and this other mixture, and you put it in there. It's really and a lot of people say it's good. I don't like the jello when it gets rubbery, but this looks like it's pretty soft, like it's not going to be rubbery like some of those do. Use a lot of that gelatin. You know, they can get too rubbery, and then it kind of, I don't like the texture issue on that. So see, this is starting to get hot. And you got to remember too, you're going to have your seasonings or your toppings that's going to go in this. Let me check that one more time. See where I'm at on the taste, and if I'm happy with it. And then I'll let it continue to cook. Let's see here. Really good. But you just add your spices accordingly, you know, as to what you want and how much you want of it. That's up to you. That's all I can tell you. It really is. It's up to you what you want to use. And I'm going to go ahead and thicken this or get the flour mixture ready. I'm not going to put it in yet. Because I want it to cook those flavors in there first. Before I do that. But I've got it. I just take some water and make a thin paste with it, and that way it's easier to stir it in. But just like I said, try to keep an eye on this, you know, and just let it cook and get those flavors in there. So, you know, if you need to add any more stuff to it. I really am not going to add too much more of this because I'm not going to make that. I mean, there's plenty of chili here, but I don't want it to be too tomatoey tasting. And take on the, you know, keep diluting the other taste. That's all I'm going to use. I used about 3/4 of a bottle of this. That's what I used of that. But I did put the 2 pounds of ground beef in here. So, and the 2 things of beans and 1 thing of the tomatoes. So you can add more beans if you've got more people. Add an extra can of the tomatoes and some more beans, you know. Actually, we made it, we put 1 pound of ground beef to 2 cans of beans, and we used 1 can of the tomatoes. So actually you could have used 2 cans of the tomatoes here and 4 cans of beans, and it would have been a full pot. But I just, you know, there's only going to be, well, let me see, 3, maybe 4 eat this tonight. The other 2 don't like it. So one's a child, so I don't even know if he'll eat it for sure. But you know, that's why I'm not making a whole bunch here. And okay, it's getting pretty hot. So let me taste it one last time. so I can see where I'm at. Because you all can see how I've been letting that cook in. I've been going back, tasting it, letting it cook, tasting, because that's what you have to do. I'm just telling you. That's perfect for me. And now you just need to let it just go on low and just sit here and cook for a little bit. And then at the last, you can put your flour in there. So I'm gonna let this cook. And this, let me get that, the meringue out so I can show you. I hope it stayed together in here. I think it did. Because I didn't want to have to use a mixer, and it did. It held together good. I let this get cold with the whites in it like this, and you can see it stayed pretty thick here for the doing it ahead of time. You don't have to because you're not going to be in a line. I don't like particularly running a mixer. It's loud, and this time I'm checking it. It's fine. It's perfect. And I'll show you. I put the bananas in. I'm going to show you what it looks like before I put the meringue on. And this pie is full. It is really heaped up full. So, and it tastes really good. Can y'all see this? I hope you can. See, it's really full. And I put the meringue on and put it in. I mean, don't think it's not going to thicken, because it usually does. It gets thicker as it sits. Get this on here and get it in the oven so y'all can maybe see what it's going to look like when it's done. You can even use whipped cream on it. You don't have to put meringue. I just like to use eggs up, especially with eggs being as expensive as they are right now. It's kind of weird not to use it, you know, use your stuff up. So, you know, and just kind of work it around your meringue. It's a soft meringue. I don't put any cream of tartar in this very often. It's kind of humid here today. Right now, it wasn't, but it is now. Our weather is very bipolar here. And there you go. I'm going to take this and put this in and let it brown the meringue. And that pie will be done. And let it cool to room temperature before you slice it. Okay, now the chili is getting right there, pretty much where you can go ahead and add a little bit of your thickener in and kind of work it around. Don't put that all in, just kind of run a little bit of around in there and let it thicken and see where you want it. I don't like real thick chili, so I would put, again, it's up to the individual. You can use regular flour too, but I just prefer the masa flour. It's got that corn taste, the corn taste to it, so I just prefer it. Yeah, that's about what I use for this. So, and it's just thickening it right like the way I like it. There you go, guys. That's the way I do my chili. Nothing hard at all here. There's just nothing hard. It's pretty easy. Let me get a drink. My tea got hot. We drank a lot of tea here. You see who all's in here. Thanks everybody for being here. Hi Frank. Hi Panthera. Hi Kim. Let me see who all's in here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hi Smiley. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed what I did. I'm going to be doing some more lives. Like I said, join me over there on Panthera, and also Cotton Candy has a good channel too. She discusses a lot of things on there. And, you know, people always try to push your button, but and sometimes you have to just speak your mind. That was my New Year's resolution. I'm not going to just sit back and take it anymore. I'm going to point things out. If it's not right, it's not right. You know, that's just the way it is. So that's what people should do. You know, do what they feel like, say what you want to put out there that's right, you know, and just put it like it is, you know, tell people it's up to you to do that. So I'm just saying, you know, let them know what your thoughts are, your facts are, and let them make their own decision from there. So anyway, guys, that's all I have today. It's going to be a little bit on that meringue, but you've seen pretty much it's going to take a little bit to get brown because my oven, this stove is 22 years old. It's really old. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll be posting another live, and let me know in the comments if there's something or on my community page that you'd like for me to do. I'll be glad to try it. Until then, you all have a good week, and hopefully I'll see some of you over on Pantheris later. So thanks everybody for being here, and have a good one. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.